to welcome you to this concert. It's my first chance living the Brownman experience live. And I have to say, I don't know how he ever got into show business being so shy or tired. But he is, as the British Voices noted, Canada's premier jazz trumpeter. So you're in for a great concert. With him on the stage is an old friend, former teacher, and I think it's great when relationships evolve so that what was once a teacher and student relationship has now evolved into a musical friend relationship, and they're going to kill a trumpet for you this evening. With no further ado, let me just mention that the concert that you're here to attend tonight is being recorded for Canada Live. It'll be heard on Canada Live on the 27th of February across the country. The Signal Radio 2 here in Toronto is 94.1. And it will also then be available for live streaming in the archive of Concerts on Demand at the Radio 2 website. Are you ready for Randy and Brecker?
I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who helped put this together. And of course, the man of the hour, my teacher. The man who used to make me play Joyce Spring over and over again and, in a dress. Well, he's a radical. He's a radical. He is, beat me with a stick. Mr. Randy Brecker. Grammy winning.
I don't know if he remembers. I was 14 and he did a clinic in Canada. He was at, he came to a high school and did a clinic, and I went to the clinic and I was like, wow, you're amazing. One day I want to go to New York and study with you. So he's like, yeah, all right, kid, well, here's my card. You know, very like half, you know. So I took his card, thanks, Randy. I put it in my wallet and it stayed there for years. And then when I got older, I started, like, around 21, 22, I started emailing him.
He started to contact me via the internet.
And I was like, I want to come to New York and study with you. You've been the greatest influence on my life ever. You're my hero. And I was, like, it was pretty over the top, right?
And at first I ignored him for a long time because the emails were so crazy.
He's like, and he told me, I almost didn't write back.
But eventually thought to myself, I got to meet this guy, because the emails, they were also very hip at the same time.
New York City, man. It's crazy. Those are crazy days. I was sleeping in bus terminals and going from lesson to lesson. And
you know, when he was a kid, he came over to my house a couple times, and literally a kid, and I gave him a couple lessons.
He wouldn't even call them lessons. Just hangs at the loft.
And I've stayed in touch with him and seen him and played, but we just kind of stayed in touch all these years.
I really felt like it wasn't teacher and student, like it was two trumpet players, you know? Nuts to feel that way about my greatest inspiration, you know? He's the reason I went to New York. He's the reason I play trumpet the way I do, you know?
Does Brownman remind you at all of yourself at his age?
Yeah, he does. I mean, the way he plays. And he actually reminds me, not that I ever had his energy, but I was real, when I was young, I was real aggressive in terms of getting my music heard. You know, I'd go up and knock on doors, or I would have asked God to sit in if he would have let me.
He very understates his influence, you know, like he gave an interview with Coda Magazine and he talked about that, like, you would have figured it out with or without me.
Well, it's very gratifying, not only with Brownman, but other students I've had in the past that I see are doing well and kind of emulate what I did.
Which is such a gracious thing to say, because maybe I would have, but I wouldn't play like this. It's about ideology, and that's what Brecker really instilled in me, you know?
He also is a very good composer. He has really good and interesting tunes that he writes, really original.
He said it to me earlier today. I almost broke down and cried. this singer, a Juno-winning singer, was at IAGE at the conference, and she came up to Randy and went, "Hey, so tell me, what do you think of your student, your protege?" And he was like, "Oh man, he's so bad, but more importantly, he's got a concept."
So that also intrigues me because I like hearing guys doing something a little different.
Because that's the thing with jazz musicians. Do you have a concept, or are you just regurgitating what was?
And I know Dizzy Gillespie said this once in an interview, and now that I'm older and I know what he means. You know, playing with younger guys, particularly guys that emulate your style and really grew up with what you did, it makes you feel good, keeps you young.
Randy Brecker embodies evolution of the art form, and that's what I learned more than anything else, is we gotta move forward. So to stand up on that stage tonight next to the greatest evolutionist in the art form, dope. It's super dope.